Texas. They say everything's bigger here, and they're right. We've got big cars, big hearts, and even bigger steaks. This is beef country, Texas, home to the Alamo, the Cowboys, and the largest military installation known to man. So big, it has a big name. Fort Hood, the great place. It's got a Texas-sized podcast as well. And this is it, right here. Fort Hood's great big podcast. Yeehaw.
Something meaningful.
That's right. It's the meaningful
You
show.
said say something meaningful. I'm going to start recording.
That was called show prep.
Oh.
Nailing it.
We actually do that?
Oh, fairly obvious.
There's a plan. There's
No.
structure.
There is a plan this week.
There is. Sure. Yeah, this is our big relaxation show.
Yes.
Designed to help folks decompress. We're not going to talk about anything stressful, nothing like that, just pure relaxation.
I like knowing that we are giving people a break.
We are. But we're still here, so it's not a break from us.
Yeah. Well,
It's just a break from life.
Yeah.
It's something. And in the year 2020, that's something.
yeah.
That's something. So, Brianna,
Yes.
you have a PT test. ACFT?
No,
Oh.
you still took the old one, right?
I took the old one because the
Oh.
new one, the ACFT is
Oh,
not in
you did
effect yet.
push up, sit
They
up.
don't do that
and
one for
run.
record yet.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
It's all
Okay.
practice.
It's well, there's talks. Well, there were talks that it was going to be delayed because of the pandemic. And they were saying that soldiers don't have access to the equipment needed for the test. But now, the previous Sergeant Major Daly, is saying that he thinks that the test will still roll out by this fiscal year, October 2020.
Are you excited for that?
No, I'm very nervous. I actually can't do the full one. I have to do the alternate test already.
Wow.
So got a lot of work to do.
I was never good at pull-ups.
That whole throw a medicine ball over your head.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Yeah, I figured there was a couple
Messes
of
up
them.
my
on-
shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the alternate test I still can't do yet, but I think I'll be able to do it in a couple months. I've been training for it.
Yeah, you've been making great strides.
I have.
In your physical fitness.
I really have. I'm finally getting the results that I've been trying to get for so long.
I've been following your push-up challenge
Yes.
on Facebook, and you've
Yes.
been nailing it.
Thank you. My form's been getting slowly better.
Well, that's because everybody's on there yelling.
Much
at you.
Yeah,
better.
Hey!
No, much better.
Everyone's calling me out, so there's
Yeah, no, it was much better than
being
last
exposed. Yeah, and I was real nervous when I did my PT test yesterday, and I barely slept the night before. So
time. I know you did at least 22.
yeah, I did 31.
There you go.
Yeah.
Wow.
You go, girl.
From 0 to 31.
So all that 22, that was you were just holding out on us.
Sandbagging.
No, because I can barely lift my arm today. Actually, I had to stop rehearsal early because
A little muscle failure.
I was trying to hold my flute and both of my hands were shaking.
You're like,
It
why
was-
couldn't I be an oboe player?
Saxophone when you can just hang
Yeah,
off
you
your
can just
body.
hang it off your neck.
Yeah.
I was really. I wish there was a flute.
Well, you should be
brace.
able to take like one of those harmonica braces and just fit a flute into it.
Yeah.
No.
You still have to
Create one.
You'd still need like an elbow brace though to keep your hands
Yeah,
up.
keep my hand
Yeah.
up. Yeah, I've actually. I do want to get one of those, but I don't think they make them. Or if they do, I'd have to like custom.
Well,
order it.
like, if you break your body, they build
Yeah,
those,
that's
right?
true.
Yeah,
That's
they
true.
they got them out there.
Yeah, but the Army doesn't want me to go out on the field with that.
Yeah, but I do.
My commanders are always like, oh, uniformity. Like, you have to look exactly like everybody else.
It's just so army of them.
Well, yeah.
But we're not all holding the same instrument.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
We're not like the...
Well, who's working out more when you're marching, the tuba player
the
or
tubas.
you?
The tubas, for sure.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
So, yeah, silver linings. You're not playing a tuba.
Yes.
Could you play a tuba if you had to?
No.
No?
The embouchure is completely different.
If you were in an airplane and you sat in the seat and they're like, excuse me, ma'am, in this seat, in case of emergency, you'll have to play a tuba. Are you prepared to do that? You'd have to say, please seat me somewhere else.
I'm thinking the spit valve on that is really big.
I believe so.
Because marching in the rain, maybe,
Mhm.
you got to let it out somewhere, right?
Yes.
That's true.
They have lots of different spit valves.
I bet.
Yeah. I don't have any, though.
I don't know where to go after spit valves, I'll be honest.
Okay.
All right, maybe we should just get into the relaxation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I don't know how we got into marching.
Yeah.
The band
Oh,
person
the band person.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
right.
pointing
Drill and
accusingly.
ceremony.
You can't see it, but I'm doing it.
Yeah.
So, Brianna, I know you got a thing. So, I wish you could be with us for this relaxation, but you will not. So, you do your thing.
Okay.
We will usher our guests in during this commercial break. And when we come back, I will have learned how to speak.
Professional broadcaster.
We'll be right back with me and my lips after this.
Private First Class Vanessa Guillen is missing.
20-year-old Fort Hood soldier was last seen April 22nd in the parking lot of her unit, the Regimental Engineer Squadron of the 3rd Cavalry Regiment.
Vanessa is 5'2", approximately 126 pounds, with black hair and brown eyes.
We need your help in finding her.
The U.S. Army Criminal Investigation Command is offering a $15,000 reward for credible information leading to Vanessa's whereabouts.
If you know anything that can help find Vanessa, call Army CID Special Agents at 254-495-7767. That's 254-495-7767.
Help us find Vanessa.
Fort Hood's great big podcast. 50% of the time, they're right. 50% of the time.
Welcome back.
Really?
No. No. Maybe.
Hey,
Yeah.
you were all stressed. What happened?
I was on. Well, let's not get into that. This is a family radio show.
Well, social media manager of Fort Hood.
Yes.
This has been a stressful time for you, hasn't
It
it?
has been. There's been a lot going on in the world. A lot. But silver linings, the travel restrictions, they moved the line back.
Yes, they did.
100 miles.
You can get to Austin if you're a green suiter.
Yeah, you can. Legally now.
Yeah.
Legally now. And there's a lot to do in Austin. Actually,
can't quite hit Dallas.
I was in Austin because I can do that because I'm a civilian.
Yeah.
So I was in Austin over the past weekend. It was not a pleasant experience.
No?
No. You had to have a mask to go in any store.
Okay.
Any store. Signs everywhere. You must have a mask. You must have a mask. They were limiting the amount of people in any stores. Like if you go to big box stores here around Fort Hood, there's somebody standing there, but they're not doing anything. They're just almost like fulfilling the greeter role. Hello, welcome to the store. Please try not to infect anyone or be infected.
Right.
But in Austin, it's serious. So there were some stores where people were lined up around the corner of the store, all the way on the side, around the corner, just to get in. People standing there in the hot sun. Wife and I went to 2 stores. One of them, it was so bad, somebody at the front, first store A, someone at the front asked us where we were coming from and ran down the checklist of symptoms.
Sure.
And then told us, stay 6 feet away from everybody while you're in here. It was a bookstore.
Mm-hmm.
And in each section, You could only have one person, like in fiction at a time, one person in nonfiction, one person in history. So
Wow.
no browsing where someone else was browsing. And then the other store we went to, there could only be 3 people inside at one time. And if we touched anything and did not purchase it, that item had to be taken to a sales associate who would then disinfect it and place it back on the shelf.
Wow.
It was a hassle.
So you do not recommend that I go down to Austin this weekend and look for a new laptop?
No, but I will say that alcohol is a disinfectant. No, it's not.
That's not
It's
going to help.
That's bad advice.
That's not going to help
that's
my
bad
laptop
advice.
that keeps crashing.
No, and your laptop is really messed up, man.
It's a 2013.
I don't
you know?
think-
What do you want? It's
I don't-
almost 7 years old.
I don't think the fruit company store is open yet.
It is.
Is it?
It is.
They
but
opened
yeah,
Fruit
it's-
Co.
Yeah, the Fruit Computer Company.
Which one would that be?
I don't know. But yeah. But you can't make a reservation. You know, you used to be able to make appointments
Mm-hmm.
online.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Live life dangerously. Go for it.
Yeah.
Go for it. I have heard that the area where the fruit store is, which is called the Domain,
Yes, it is.
has been kind of like a ghost town. So you might have a good chance.
Ghost Town would work good.
You might have a good chance.
Well, we'll
Yeah.
give it a shot either Friday or Saturday.
Yeah. And I know that having a computer that works
Oh, it's a great thing, doesn't it?
It would lower that stress level for you. And that's what today's show is all about.
Lowering my stress level?
Yeah. You see, in the past, we had some lovely ladies on,
Yes, we did.
and they helped everybody to decompress. I can remember we did one little relaxation technique, and I mean, I just about fell asleep from that one. And we have been living in some stressful times. 2020.
Yeah.
Huh? Wow. 2020.
Well,
Look
the
at
last
you.
2 weeks. Wow.
We won't be forgetting this this year for a while.
No.
Nope. And so we thought we would bring to our dear listeners, you, everyone out there in podcast land, the joy of relaxation. So that's what today. We're not talking about fixing roads. We're not talking about toilet plume. Well, we might.
Or travel restrictions.
Travel restrictions.
Well, you did already.
We're not talking about inappropriate Muppets. None of that stuff. Punching Baby Yoda is out the door.
Inappropriate Muppets.
I don't know, just
Never mind.
things we might talk about. I was just randomly picking
Okay. All right.
topics.
All right.
It's all about the decompression. So I will say, if you're driving right now, you might want to pause and listen to this show at a later time, because we are not liable for any accidents that happen from listening to the show, from being a part of it. But we also want the show to be interactive. So we're going to be going through some stuff, and you, listener, please feel free to do it with us, and we hope that it brings some relaxation into your life as well. And then you could listen to this again when you need more relaxation in your life, and that just kind of helps us with the listener count. So it's everybody gets something out of this. So without further ado, we have our relaxation ladies. Will you please introduce yourself to our crowd of Dave?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm Noelle Austin Jones. I'm one of the health educators at the Fort Hood Army Wellness Center, and I have with me
April Cavazos.
I know, and you're back for your second time.
Yes, sir.
I know
Wow.
we're so excited. I got
You
called a
sound
lovely
excited.
lady. I've been called so many things this week, but lovely lady is probably highlight of the week. So.
Well, there you go.
That's awesome.
And I had to scrap my inappropriate Muppet plan. So
Oh, that'll be next week.
I'll be back. I'll be
Next
back
week,
for the
yep.
inappropriate Muppet.
Absolutely.
So
Mm-hmm.
you want to get started?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. That's what all this is about.
I think you're correct. 2020 is probably one for the record books on the stress level for everybody for a lot of reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the most important thing for people to be doing on a regular basis is checking in with themselves. Because it's easy to kind of get caught up in the news or caught up in work or caught up in obligations, fears, worries, whatever it is driving you right now. And if you don't stop and take a minute to check in with yourself, get some self-awareness, where are you at right now? What are you feeling right now? It's really hard to manage those. And you don't even realize the manifestation of the stress in your life because you've got your blinders on and you're focused on either a lot of things or one thing in particular, but not on the things that are important for your health and your mental health.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
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 She concurs. So you can do self-check-ins a lot of ways. You can do like a body check, like what am I feeling? Like physically, does my head hurt? Do I feel like I am fatigued or exhausted? Does my stomach hurt? Do I have knots in my stomach? Is my back aching?
Do you have a cough? Do you have a sore throat?
Yeah. Do you have a fever?
No sneezes.
Yeah. Stomach problems, things like that, can be signs of stress. They can be signs that you need to go to the doctor as well.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's outside of the norm, definitely check in with a professional.
So listen to what your body has to say and pay attention to it.
Yeah,
it's communicating with you.
It's telling you things. And then you can check in with your feelings, like emotional status. And you can do it on a monthly basis. I recommend at this point, you need to do it at least once a week, if not more. If you need to do it daily, twice a day, in the morning, at night, whatever you can manage or you think you need. But some of the things that we recommend that you ask yourself are, in the last week, how often do you feel that you're unable to control important things in your life? You can say never, almost never, sometimes, fairly often, very often. And that kind of gives you a gauge, like, where are you at right now? How often have you felt confident in your ability to handle your personal problems? Are you getting overwhelmed by things that are happening in your life or even in, the world right now? How often have you felt that things were going your way? How often have you felt positive, like that you've accomplished something or that the ball is rolling in the right direction for you? Those are good. There's, stress isn't always a good or a bad thing. It can be both.
Sure.
You can have good stress. You can have bad stress. And then how often have you felt the difficulties were piling up so high that you could not overcome them? And so kind of doing this self-check-in, where am I at right now? What do I need to focus on? How is it affecting me physically and emotionally? And sometimes there are people that are just so not in tune with where they personally are at that people outside of them are communicating with you. So is your significant other or your family or your coworkers going, hey man, like what's up? Are you okay? Or what's going on? Or stop snapping at me? Or, if you're getting these signals from external sources, it's really time to do some internal checks.
Yeah.
I brought my cheerleader with me.
I love this. I love this.
Yeah.
So some of the ways that we can manage stress, we teach a lot of different techniques. My personal go-to one is deep breathing, which we touched on last time we were here.
Yeah.
And you can do this in the car. If you're sitting at a red light or if you're sitting in the parking lot before you're going into work or...
Not while you're moving.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you can take some deep breaths while you're moving if you need to chill it out, but don't close your eyes and really veg out on it. But if you're sitting in traffic or if somebody just cut you off, a couple deep breaths can really reframe your mindset. So I'm going to let April take us through the deep breathing.
Putting you to work.
Are we doing deep breathing again?
Yeah.
Well,
One more time.
One more time.
Hey, you can never do enough breathing.
No, you cannot. And there's a lot of actual great apps that are out there to help you when it comes to practicing your deep breathing. If you think you got an idea of it or you got control over it, but this will coach you a little bit better. So there's one called Breathe to Relax with the number 2 or Tactical Breather. And
Tactical breathing.
Yeah, so Tactical Breather. And you can set it for, I want to practice deep breathing for 2 minutes. I want to practice for 10 minutes. You set it up. And it'll coach you through for however long you wanted it to. So, we get clients that come through and we see them for 45 minutes and we see them maybe once a week, once a month. And then that's it. They're not practicing. And we can tell that they're not practicing their deep breathing, but at least with these different apps, then it does, you can tell the significant difference when they start to practice it. And plus it just becomes like a norm. It's like, 10 minutes of just peace, of solitude, and you're working on your deep breathing when you're in the car. Like I said, you can set it up for however much time you have. So if you only got 2 minutes to work on it, then set it up for 2 minutes.
Wow.
And you're good to go from there.
So breathing isn't just something you do. It's good breathing is learned.
Yeah, and you really have to focus when you're practicing this. You really need to be still. Focus on taking deep, what I call belly breaths. And a lot of times people with chronic anxiety or even power lifters, you'll see them like huff puff a little bit. They're shallow breathers, like getting a maximum oxygen, right? But what's happening is those deep belly breaths are stimulating the valgus nerve that runs down the center of your body. It stimulates your nervous system to relax. So for people who aren't accustomed to taking these really long, deep breaths, I recommend you put your hand on your belly and make sure your hand is rising and falling while you're breathing.
You guys ready?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yep.
You ready to go to sleep again?
Absolutely. Hand is on belly.
Okay, so up to everybody, however you feel comfortable, whether it is laying down where you're at, having a seat, relaxing, eyes open, eyes closed. It's for you to be comfortable where you're at. So we're going to do some deep breathing, one of the techniques that we teach at the Wellness Center. All right. So when it comes to this breathing, what you're going to be doing is breathing in to the count of 4, holding that count for the count of 3, and then breathing out with the count of 5. So it'll go breathing in, 2, 3, 4, hold it, 2, 3, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. So again, inhaling, 2, 3, 4, holding it, 2, 3, and exhaling, 2, 3, 4, 5. So continue this breathing at your pace where you feel comfortable of in for the count of 4, holding for the count of 3, and exhaling for the count of 5. Now, as you are continuing to do this breathing, I'll put you into different stages of your breath to focus that attention, because we want you to just focus on one thing at a time. So first, notice the breath as it's entering into your nose. Notice how each time you breathe in, the way your body feels and the way your nostrils feel as that air is pushing into your body. Feel the breath as it passes through your nasal passage and down behind your throat. So imagine that air just going straight down the throat. Now, where does your air go next? Feel each time you inhale, the breath passing down your windpipe. Feel that going down and down. Now, begin to notice where that air is entering as it enters into your lungs. Allow your breath, the awareness, to deepen the feeling of the relaxation that you are experiencing as you continue these nice, long, slow breaths. Feel the air expand in your lungs with each breath in, and then relax. And then your lungs expand again, and relax. Now notice during the exhalation phase of your breathing, observe as the air leaves your lungs, and now it's going to continue to come back upward. So now focus your attention on that moment of each breath as it's coming back upward. Now we're going to turn our attention to the breath traveling up and out through your mouth. So we had it breathing in through our nose, down into our throat, into our lungs, expanding it. Now we are coming back up the throat, and now we are exhaling through our mouth. Feel the breath in your throat, your mouth, and across your lips. Notice each breath as a whole now. It is a complete cycle. See how the breath flows like waves. So think of waves. in for a second and out for a second. In for a pause and out for a pause, just like the waves. Now, as you relax, you can count your breaths as they gently flow. Continue breathing in for that count of 4, holding for that count of 3, and then now your exhale for that count of 5. When you are finished counting, you can start to notice where you are relaxed. So you can start to open your eyes or wiggle your toes to kind of put you back into place and where you're at, and make sure that you haven't fallen off the couch or anything yet. So
it's amazing how relaxed just breathing can do. What is that? Centering yourself. Wouldn't that be centering? Is that centering yourself?
Grounding.
Grounding yourself.
There you go.
Grounding yourself.
Yeah.
Being grounded. Well,
It's really putting you in the present.
mm-hmm.
Often stress comes and anxiety comes from worrying about past events, worrying about future things, and not truly being present where you are right now in the moment. Now, sometimes the present moment is stressful, and in order to gain better perspective on it, you need to ground yourself, and you need to shift into your frontal lobe where all of your rational thoughts and decisions are made, and out of your cortex and amygdala where your primal instincts and your emotion centers are. So this is really shifting you up into the higher functioning part of your brain so you can make more rational decisions even in stressful times.
Oh, wow.
Cool. Yeah.
I need to stop using my mandingula so much.
You're what?
I don't know what she said.
What she said. Yeah.
Amygdala.
Amygdala.
Fun fact, amygdalas don't start developing fully until about toddlerhood, which is why toddlers are like so emotionally unstable, is because that's when the emotional center truly starts developing, and they have no control over it yet.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I know some adults that it's still developing.
Well, you can stunt some of your development, especially the frontal lobe, which doesn't fully start developing till your preteens and into your 20s. So introducing psychotropic substances and things like that early on in life can alter your frontal lobe development.
Well, you hear that, kids? Don't do drugs.
Yeah, your poor decision-making skills could last forever.
That's never happened.
No.
All right, so what do we got next? What's next on our relaxation buffet?
So this one's a real favorite, especially amongst our soldiers, is the progressive muscle relaxation.
Ooh.
We carry tension around in our bodies a lot. And sometimes we don't even realize what parts of us are tense. Most of the time, people think like shoulder, neck tension, jaw tension. When I first started learning this, I realized that I actually clench my toes, like in my shoes when I'm stressed. I clench my toes up, and I didn't realize it until I did this. And I was like, well, my toes were really tense. And people do this, and they don't realize, like, they come to us because they're like, when I run, my feet hurt. And I'm like, well, your little muscles are so tight in your feet because you're clenching your toes.
Interesting.
Right. So progressive muscle relaxation, this one you don't want to do while you're driving, for sure.
Okay.
For sure. Find a quiet place where you can either recline or lay down. This one's a good one to do in the morning to like kind of wake up, or at night to sort of relax the tension while you're laying in bed. So find a quiet, comfortable place.
Really quick before we do this.
Yeah.
I have to pee. Is that going to be a problem?
Well, I wouldn't clench your abdomen.
All right.
All right.
All right. I will
Make sure
avoid.
you're fully comfortable before you get started on it.
Just
unless
checking.
you are comfortable with that happening.
I don't know. Are you guys comfortable with that happening?
You're not cool
I mean,
unless you
it's
pee
not
your pants.
cold. We're not like, in the
Hey.
tundra. Otherwise, I might condone that.
Somebody get me a plastic bag.
A cup.
You're not cool unless you pee your pants.
That's right.
All right. So I recommend you close your eyes if you're comfortable doing that.
Right.
Or you can feel free to keep them open. But if you do keep them open, try not to focus your gaze on anything in particular. Just relax your gaze. This helps you stay grounded in the here and now, but do what's most comfortable for you. Go ahead and take a few slow, deep breaths. Get settled back down. Inhale deeply through your nose with your mouth closed to the count of 4. Exhale through your mouth slowly to the count of 5. Imagine the tension leaving your body, flowing out with each exhale. Repeat this 3 to 4 times. If at any point you feel dizzy or lightheaded, return to normal breathing. Continue to breathe deeply as you move into the muscle tension and relaxation part of this exercise. We'll begin with your feet and work our way up. As you breathe in deeply, clench your toes and tighten the muscles in your feet. Hold for just a second, and as you exhale, relax those muscles. Feel the tension flowing out. Now tighten the muscles in your shins. Point your toes upwards towards your knees as you breathe in. Hold that tension for just a moment, and as you relax, breathe out. Now let's tighten the muscles in your leg muscles. As you breathe in, clench the muscles in your thighs. Do this in whatever way feels comfortable to you. Hold for just a moment, and as you breathe out, relax those muscles. Now let's focus on your back muscles. As you breathe in, gently tighten the muscles in your back by arching your back slightly. Hold that tension for just a moment and relax as you breathe out. You may feel warming sensations in your muscles as you tighten them, and cool tingling sensations as you breathe out. Now let's tighten the muscles in your abdomen. Take a deep breath in and clench the muscles in your abdomen as though you are trying to touch your belly button to your spine. Hold for just a moment and then breathe out. Now let's move on to your upper body. Take a deep breath in, and as you do, clench your fist as tight as you can. Hold that clench for just a moment, and then relax your hands as you breathe out. Notice the difference between how you feel when those muscles are clenched and when they're relaxed. Now let's tighten the muscles in your forearms. As you take a deep breath in, clench the muscles in your forearms by trying to touch your fingertips to the insides of your elbows. Hold that position for just a moment, and as you breathe out, relax your forearms. Now let's move on to your bicep muscles. Take a deep breath in and clench the muscles in your biceps. Hold that tension, and as you breathe out, relax your arms. You may feel that warm tingling sensation as you clench and the release of tension as you breathe out. Now let's focus on your shoulders. Take a deep breath in and raise your shoulders up to your ears and clench those muscles tight. Hold it for just a moment and then relax as you breathe out. Drop your shoulders down. Now let's move on to your facial muscles. Take a deep breath in and clench the muscles in your face. Tighten your lips together, clench your eyes closed really tight. hold that for just a moment, and then slowly release that tension and relax those muscles as you breathe out. Now let's look at your jaw muscle. Take a deep breath in and then open your mouth as wide as you can. Clench those jaw muscles wide open. Now release that tension as you breathe out. You're now relaxed from the tips of your toes to the top of your head. Your body feels heavy and relaxed. Breathing in relaxation, breathing out tension. Enjoy the sensation of relaxation you're experiencing right now. Whenever you're ready, you can reawaken your body by wiggling your toes, wiggling your fingers, shaking your head. Notice the difference between how you felt with your muscles clenched and tense, and how relaxed you feel now.
All right, cool. What? Why is everybody looking at me? I am dry.
Well, just checking,
I am dry. I avoided the abdominal thing. Well, that was nice, though.
Yeah.
That was really nice.
Progressive is a good one because some people are not wanting to do the mental. They're like, oh, I don't like to think mentally. I don't want to do that. I just want to relax.
I know a lot of people like that.
They're like, I just want to check out. I don't want to think. I don't want to do anything. And they don't realize, like Noelle was saying, that they keep that physical tension in their bodies.
Mm-hmm.
They could be, I don't know, in a brief or a meeting, and someone's already starting to say something they don't want, and they're already clenching their fists, and they don't even realize that they're doing that. So that's where it's giving them that release so they can feel that physical tension, that stress, and then releasing that stress, releasing that tension as they relax. And some people, it just depends. Like I had a client that we usually do feet to head. And I was like, let's mix it up because he really liked progressive. So let's do head to feet. So let's do it the opposite and let's go, to the top to the bottom. And he was like, I didn't like it. It felt weird. He's like, I did not like it at all. I like working my way up instead.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, stress, like I was talking about the nervous system. So stress activates your sympathetic nervous system, which causes your muscles to tense up. And what happens under chronic stress is you end up with this chronic cycle of tension in your muscles, what we call hypertonicity in the muscles. And we see a lot of injuries related to hypertonicity in the muscles. So running injuries, if you're clenching your feet a lot or your calves are really tight, it can be your form. Sometimes it's because you have such hypertonicity in your muscles. You end up doing pain avoidance activities. So you stop exercising because it hurts.
Yeah.
You stop being as active. You are injured, so you can't do it. And you end up sometimes doing things to deal with the pain, like medications prescribed by a doctor. Some people look to non-prescription medications to deal with the chronic pain that's associated with these hypertonicity in the muscles. So catching this before you end up with chronic pain issues and injuries is super important.
Yeah, especially if you're in the military.
Yeah.
Everybody in the military, we got the new ACFT, which is not going away. And everybody's always looking for a boost for that. They look through supplements. They take creatine. They take stuff to help them excel. But they could be doing these relaxation techniques.
Definitely recommend that.
An actual scientific boost.
Yeah. I mean, stretching, yoga, these are all mindful activities that are, the reason they're mindful, things like yoga and stretching, is you are relaxing those muscles, but you're also not typically thinking about all the stress and worries. You're more focused on the movement of what you're doing. You're more grounded in the here and now and what is happening with your body right now. And so that's why those activities are like mind-body type activities work so well, is because they're dealing with both aspects of the physical and the emotional, psychological.
Wow. Cool.
Another great program that helps with that is MRT. So the Master Resiliency Trainers. So they're the ones that kind of help put everything into play, into motion, to where if you're in a heightened situation, a heightened event, how they can coach you and also teach you to bring yourself down, relax, and focus when you're in a hostile or, stressful situation, whether it's deployment, combat, whether it's, during your ACFT and you're thinking, I'm not going to be able to do this, figure it out, but, it's coping through that and building up the mental
Resiliency.
There you go. The resiliency to know that, you can do that. So that's another great program like on post that can help with that as well.
For sure. Even like at home right now, there's a lot of, the social worker in me comes out sometimes, but there's a lot of issues at home, dealing with spouses and kids. And
absolutely.
There's a lot more contact. School's been out for a long time, and de-escalation is key. And the thing that you have the most control over is yourself. And so de-escalating yourself has an ability to influence the situation around you as well.
Oh.
Kind of easier said than done sometimes, though, right?
Yeah, that's why practice. That's why we practice, because this isn't natural. This isn't something that you're just kind of naturally born, like, I should do some deep breathing right now.
Right.
You really have to practice it. It has to become like second nature to you, so that when you are getting close to that escalated, heightened anxiety, worry-driven activity, you can rely on these coping skills.
But it requires self-awareness.
Yeah. You have to check in with yourself.
People have triggers when you're dealing with your clients. You have to kind of sort of help them identify their triggers.
Yeah.
Right.
And everybody's a little bit different. Like everybody has their own experiences in life, their own lenses that they're looking at things through, their own perspective. And so that's where self-reflection, however you do that, whether it's through taking on our website, we have, what's it called? The ISMT part, where it'll ask you, there's a series of questions, and it'll basically give you your stress scale score. Or we have those 4 questions that I said in the beginning. Some people do it through journaling. Some people do it through talking to a counselor. Whatever you are comfortable with that gets you to where you're able to be in tune with yourself.
Is there anything that someone can do at home where they can sit down and they can, is there a test or a system for identifying triggers? Maybe find stuff out that you didn't know that was stressing you?
Well, there are apps, like there's the Hope Chest, there's the virtual, what's that virtual? We can get together the list of the apps, but there are apps. I know Hope Chest is one of them that will help you do the check-ins, that will kind of guide you, because it's not like, for a lot of people, it's not second nature to feel my feelings, like,
Virtual hope box.
Virtual hope box. That's what it's called. And it helps you do this check-in. You can even do like a scale, like a number scale. Where am I at right now on a 1 to 10 scale? If there's a particular situation, maybe you're thinking about, I don't know, changing your MOS or something, like, how do I feel about my current MOS on 1 to 10? And what do I think would be better about this MOS, 1 to 10? And how would that affect me personally? You can do it with relationships. You can do it with just your general well-being. How do I grade my health right now on a 1 to 10? And doing these check-ins routinely, you get more in tune with yourself. But it's really difficult for a lot of people to identify their own feelings, or to even admit that they even have feelings sometimes.
I know a lot of people have smart watches right now, Apple Watches, Garmin, Fitbit, all that stuff. And I don't even know it half the time. And my watch is yelling at me, your stress level is high. You need to take a breath.
Yeah.
You need to do this. So my watch is always yelling, barking at me. And I'm like, I'm fine. But apparently I'm not. Heart rate is going a little bit quicker. It's getting a little bit more. And I'm just like, okay. All right, Garmin.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Wow, that's crazy. No, I have a Samsung. It never tells me that. It tells me that there's discounts on the Samsung store and that it needs to be recharged.
It knows where your heart lies.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, a lot of watches now they're monitoring your heart rate, and they're detecting things like whenever it's getting elevated. There are certain brands like the fruit ones that will monitor your heart rate variability.
Oh, we already said Samsung
Yeah,
and Garmin. That ship is sailed.
I was sticking to the rule.
I know.
I
and
remembered
You
later.
can say iWatch. It's okay.
A fruity watch could be Swatch, so you don't know.
You never know. But your heart rate variability is a good measurement tool for where your emotional resiliency is at.
Sure.
The higher that number, the more resilient you are. So that's measuring the amount of time in between your heartbeats. So the greater that amount of time, the higher your resiliency is right now.
Interesting.
And yeah, a lot of people don't realize that it's monitoring that for you. And you can go into the app on your phone and see where you're at. There's no number that's like, this is a good range, but it monitors you over time. You can use this to track hormonal changes if you're female. You can use it to track when your most stressful times are. It tracks it. You can look at day to day, week to week, month to month, and know like, man, those holidays were really stressful. Look at that dip I had right there. And what can I do better next time?
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
That is really cool. You don't realize, I guess because you have to live with yourself every day and you've been living with yourself, but how well your body is actually communicating to you. You become deaf to it because you're so used to it. It becomes white noise.
You get sort of entrenched in this is the way it's always been. This is the way I've always done it. You don't realize how much, sometimes you don't realize how bad you were feeling until you feel better, or how good you were feeling until you feel bad. It kind of gives you that perspective.
Well, that is so cool. Do you have, I see you have more papers.
I have lots of papers.
Ooh, what is next on the relaxation
So I'm
buffet?
going to let April give you a buffet choice on guided imagery.
Ooh.
A buffet.
Oh, I have a buffet choice.
So guided imagery, I like this one, and actually I like them all, but you can start to realize that they all kind of intertwine and they connect with each other, right? So when it came to the deep breathing, then it was telling you to imagine the breath going into your body. So almost like a guided imagery, right? Same thing when Noelle was talking with progressive, and it was you picturing the tension releasing and leaving your body. So they all intertwine, but it's figuring out which one you end up liking a little bit more. And to me, I say just run with it. If it works for you, great, good, grand, then take off with it and start to build upon it and get, a little bit more specific with it, so that way it can help you. So guided imagery, the way that we teach it is it's just plain generic scripts of just like we have the forest, a beach, a sunrise, a sunset. So to me, it's something plain Jane, nothing exciting, but to you, you are now putting your personal spin on that generic scene.
Interesting.
So now, if I'm reading this beach scene, for all I know, you grew up in Florida and you grew up on the beach. So now you are picturing your home beach. You're picturing the smells and the sounds that you hear on your home beach, or when you went to on vacation on a cruise or something, and you were there. So you start to paint that personal picture, and you start putting your five senses into it, what you hear, you smell, what you were tasting, like the touch of it, whatever it is. And that's where you make it more personal, and it's a happy place, it's a happy moment, and that's where it starts to help you relax and calm down.
Cool.
Okay.
Very good.
It's that old cliche, go to your happy place.
Yeah. Find a happy place.
But it has a physiological and psychological effect on you if you can allow yourself to go there.
Just like a little hypnotic effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because with all of this stuff, you have to genuinely believe it. You have to genuinely believe you want to relax, you want to believe it, you want to be happy. Because if not, then it's just a generic script. It's just anything plain.
So what you're saying is that happiness comes from inside?
Yeah, we make our own happiness.
Oh my gosh, we got deep all of a sudden.
Yeah.
We got deep. All right. Well, take us through some of these visualizations.
Okay. So we'll end up let's do the forest.
All right.
So let's do a
Like
forest.
forests.
Same thing. Find wherever is relaxing for you. Couch, lay down, eyes open, eyes closed, whatever it is. All right. Now imagine yourself walking through a forest. The path is soft beneath your shoes, a mixture of soil, fallen leaves, pine needles, a little bit of moss. As you walk, your body and your mind begins to relax and clear more and more with each step that you take. Breathe in the fresh air, filling up your lungs completely, and then exhaling all of that air, feeling refreshed. Take another deep breath in, holding it for the count of 3. And completely breathing out, letting your body relax further and further. You'll continue this breathing as we go through further and further into the forest. So imagine that the air is cool but comfortable. The sun is filtering through the trees, making a moving, dappled pattern on the ground before you go. Listen to the sound of the forest. Birds are singing, a gentle breeze is going, leaves on the trees are shifting and swaying with a soft wind that's comfortable. And the more steps that you take, you begin to relax more and more, continuing with your breathing in for 4, holding for 3, and exhaling for the count of 5. As you're walking through the forest, you feel your muscles relaxing and lengthening. As your arms swing in rhythm with your walking, they become loose, relaxed, and limp. You begin to feel your back relaxing as the muscles relax as well. You feel that tension leaving your body as you're looking around and see that you're happy. You continue to walk through the forest and you start to go up a slight incline. And you start to tread along smooth rocks on a path. Around you, you begin to see in a different array of greens. Some leaves on the trees are delicate and light. Some leaves are deep, dark, true forest green. Many trees look soft. The forest floor is thick with green moss. Smell the forest around you. The air is fresh and filled with the scent of trees, soil, and a mountain stream. As you continue to wander into the forest, you can hear the sound of water faintly in the distance. As you continue, you begin to gain elevation, getting closer to the sound of the running stream. As you near the top of the mountain, the path curves and you can see sunlight streaming onto the path. As you round the corner, you hear water, and there's a clearing up ahead, and a beautiful lookout point awaits you. So imagine yourself walking towards the clearing and that stream. Stepping stones make an easy path across the stream and towards the edge of a mountain. Up ahead is a large, smooth rock, like a waiting chair for you to rest. Sit or lie down on the rock if you wish, and feel comfortable and at ease as the sun shines down on you. Look down around into the valley with trees and a brilliant blue lake. Across from you is another mountain. You begin to see wildlife, deers drinking water, squirrels darting in and out of the trees. And you begin to feel the sun warming your body as you relax on that rock. Your body becomes very warm and very heavy. Continue to breathe in that fresh, clean, crisp air. You are relaxed. You're calm. You're at peace. Enjoy the sights and the sounds and the smells of the forest around you. Feel that gentle breeze blow across your cheeks. Listen to the birds sing. Now, when you are ready to leave this peaceful place, slowly begin to reawaken your body. Know that you can return to this anytime you want, whenever you like. As you reawaken, keep with you the feeling of being calm and at peace. Begin to wiggle your fingers, shrug your shoulders, and come back from being in the forest.
Wow. That was great up until the stream where it reminded me I had to pee again.
I suggest that you take care of all bodily needs. Don't say do this when you're hungry
Yeah.
or if you have to go to the bathroom.
She said stream, and I was like, oh no.
You hear
It's
the sound of
happening.
running water.
It's like, oh, I hope there's not a waterfall. I hope there's not a waterfall in this mountain. No, but that's so cool. I am never sure of what I'm going to say. I am always amazed by the human brain and the fact that you can close your eyes and so completely take yourself somewhere where you are not.
Mm-hmm.
It is just absolutely amazing.
Imagination.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, the Japanese do a thing called forest bathing.
I did not, but tell me more.
Okay. So, well, you know, in Japan, it's a lot of cityscape. Most people live in an urban area.
Yeah.
And so they have their parks are very green. You don't have to drive very far outside of Tokyo to be in the mountains in a very green space. And they call it forest bathing. So on the weekends, they do it in Korea as well, hiking, a lot of outdoor activities, because being in a green space elicits feelings of joy and relaxation for you. So even having a fake plant in your office can ease some of the tension around you. Real plants do it as well, unless you don't have quite the green thumb. Fake plants will do
dead.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're really into things like Reiki, like green is the color of your heart chakra.
Oh.
And so that's where the color green can evoke feelings of joy. The color blue can evoke feelings of calm and peace. So they do have this subtle sort of influence on your mood.
That's interesting. Imagine if brown was relaxation, how chill Texas would be.
Right?
Yeah. At least over the summer.
Well, that explains a lot why it's not so chill all the time.
No.
It's like 100 degrees out there right now.
Yeah, it is. You know, it's interesting. My phone reminded me those memories thing 1 year ago, 7 years ago. 1 year ago, I was complaining on Facebook that it had popped over 100 for the first time of the year. And I'm like, oh, we're right on schedule.
Yep.
Right on schedule.
Yep. Seasons come and go.
No, but while I was in Japan, I loved doing something that I called the Fuji Loop. And that is, there's a road that goes around Mount Fuji from Kanagawa Prefecture. Follow along with me, kids.
I've done this loop.
And Yamanashi into Shizuoka, and then back to Kanagawa Prefecture. It's a fantastic drive.
Yeah.
And it's just about, you'd think, how could I be out here in the nature when I was just at the big city?
Like not that long ago.
Yeah,
right?
it's just night and day.
Amazing.
But it was a great way to decompress. And I know that people here in the Fort Hood area, especially the soldiers here, have been complaining that there's nothing to see. I can only go 40 miles. And now, it's been extended to the 100, but people are already saying, well, what about 250? Why not give us 250?
Sure.
There are some great outdoor places within 100 miles of here.
Within 40 miles,
Yeah.
there's some pretty cool places.
That you can go, that you don't have to be around people, and just breathe, exist, and relax, and get away from all this everything that's been going on.
Yeah, just connecting with nature is also another really good grounding exercise. I don't know. My family's from the Appalachian Mountains. Like, we do a lot of running around barefoot in the summer, swimming in creeks and things like that. And, I was stationed in Arizona with my husband many years ago, and when I heard we were coming to Texas, I was like, okay, I know what that's like. You know, it's brown, rocky, not a lot of veg. And then when we got here, I was like, ooh, like Texas has all these really amazing, what I think they call watering holes.
In Austin, 6th Street.
I meant the kind that swimming holes.
Oh, okay.
Swimming holes. Is that what it is? I don't know.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Watering hole.
Yeah.
The cement pond.
Yeah. Load up the car. And even within the 40-mile radius, there's some cool places. Even here on Post, we found one the other day. We did a little hike, and I was like, look at that. You can go swimming.
There's a secret treasure on Post.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes, but I don't want to.
Yeah, don't put that out because
I don't want to put it out there.
It won't be secret.
It's
anymore.
not a big
secret.
treasure.
It's not a huge
small
treasure, but it's just enough to where you're like, huh, this is on Post. You don't feel like you're, you know, in the city, quote unquote.
Right.
It has like a nice little waterfall. It was nice of
Oh,
like
wow.
of a little swimming hole.
A clear water swimming.
Yeah, and it
That
was
is so
just
cool.
so nice and peaceful, and it really wasn't too far.
I didn't have to work hard to find
No.
it.
I think we're just giving out more clues.
Yeah, don't.
But that's okay.
Stop with the
No.
clothes. Stop with the clothes.
You can make an appointment.
That is fantastic. Those are all wonderful things that you have given us today and given our listeners. I feel much more relaxed, except for the bathroom, than when I started this.
Notice he's wrapping up.
Yeah, I'm like,
I
think
am.
how great
I
you're
am.
going
I
to
am.
feel like when you finally get the bladder relaxation.
I know.
Too.
I know. There's the waterfall that we were talking about.
Yeah.
The Dave, how are you feeling? Feeling good?
Good. I do have one more question,
Oh,
though.
please.
Because you guys, it's been pandemic and it's been a month and a half since we had you on.
Mhm.
Easy. How are folks dealing with it?
I mean, I actually impressed myself with myself. I like tend to be one of those really like higher strung sort of people.
Mhm.
And like, I've chilled a lot. Like, I think, you know, without having that pace of quote unquote normal life,
Right.
I was able to be a little bit more grounded. But then like my husband would be the exact opposite. Like, he needs that pace in order to be more focused, having a lot of time to contemplate, you know, things in life or careers and things like that can lead to people to having more anxiety. So it's sort of like, you know, double-edged sword. You know, it's a fine line between am I doing good? Am I doing not so good? And just like with anything else, there's good days and there's bad days. And, you know, you take them as they come. And practicing these skills regularly keeps even the bad days in perspective. It's, you know.
I think the shock is starting to just wear off on people. We're starting to, whether they're doing more research, they're starting to hear more things. Now they're letting things open up a little bit more.
Sure.
So people are starting, it seems like, starting to calm down in the pandemic aspect.
And maybe
of it.
we're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, too.
Let's hope.
Think?
Let's hope.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
But I don't know. I'm just kind of
Charlie.
just
Well,
chilling.
as someone said to us the other day on Facebook, the pandemic is over. Now it's all about rioting.
Yeah. Yeah.
COVID's gone.
Agree or disagree.
You know, it's not gone, but we're handling it. We've handled it. We've shown we can deal with this. It's
Yep.
not the boogeyman out
I
there.
actually was listening to, I forget what, I listened to a lot of podcasts. I was listening to something actually this morning where they were saying, I think it was Berkeley did a study, USC Berkeley, that what we've witnessed as far as the pandemic is probably the greatest humanitarian effort we've ever seen, like ever.
Wow.
In the way that the whole world sort of came together. Like we collectively were like, okay, this is happening. We had to shut down. Like we sacrificed a lot in order to save the lives of a lot of people. And that if you put it in that perspective, what we've managed to accomplish is pretty impressive.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And everybody Pat yourself on the back.
I know. Good job.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Round of
Yeah.
applause.
And thank you guys for coming back.
Thanks for having
Thanks
us.
for having
Right,
us.
yeah. And if somebody wants to more professionally be involved in this kind of relaxation techniques, what do they got to do?
So we are still working from home, still waiting for guidance through Credamsey to see when we can open up again. But we can always, just how we did this, you're seeing it via podcast. We can do these techniques with you guys over the phone, do a telehealth appointment.
So virtually.
So we can still do it virtually.
Coaching. If you want, if apps, you're just like, oh, that person doesn't know me. We can do coaching with you one-on-one individually.
Oh, cool. And you guys do videos, right? Facebook videos. You've got some stuff going on.
Yeah. So we're trying to just keep everything, whether relative and going, and just, that we are still here for everybody, here for the community. So Noelle and I do a stress segment called Simmer Down. And so we
Nice.
just kind of talk on different stress topics, subjects, whatever kind of pops in our minds. And I think we're starting to get a little like kooky, stir crazy, because they're slowly starting to, we're starting to unwind a little bit more.
We find you on Facebook where?
So it's Fort Hood Army Wellness Center, and spell out Fort. So Fort. That's where we're at. That's where you can reach us, Facebook Messenger, or we have Fort Hood AWC at Gmail. That's where you can also reach us too. And that's where we can call you guys, just contact you, whichever way it is necessary. We can even teach classes virtually for like whether your unit, your group, whatever it is. So we can try to teach any of our classes as well.
We have a great stress management class.
Cool.
I bet.
Yeah.
After this, yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
guaranteed. Sign me up.
for sure.
You've already taken it.
Yeah.
You've already taken it. Well, we'll have more. We'll check back with Brianna. She should be done. She just sent me a message.
Oh,
So she
there you
should be
go.
done right after this brief message. So see you then.
Here he is, Jeff Snarkworthy.
Thank you, yeah. If you've got a sudden, unexpected fever, you might have coronavirus. If you've traveled from or through a state where coronavirus is prevalent, you might have coronavirus. If that fever of yours, if it's accompanied by a feeling of shortness of breath or difficulty breathing, you might have coronavirus.
Coronavirus is steadily spreading across not only the United States, but the world. Being aware of the signs and symptoms of coronavirus helps keep us all safe. If you suspect that you may have been infected with the virus, call 254-553-6612. That's the Fort Hood Health Hotline, 254-553-6612.
If you've been around some place where people were infected, if you got that fever, shortness of breath, and a cough, you might have coronavirus.
Coronavirus. It's no laughing matter.
Hello?
It's what your tax dollars sound like. Fort Hood's Great Big Podcast.
Coming on strong on a Monday. I feel so low, won't be long till one day when you know. Coming on strong.
Well, that was. You missed it, Brianna.
Yeah.
You missed it. How did your thing
I'm
go?
not relaxed.
How'd your thing go? Your appointment. What was the appointment? Is that to
No, it's
TMI?
fine. It was I was trying to get a referral to dermatology, but they make you like jump through all these hoops.
You got to get a referral to go to a dermatologist?
I have to get a referral if I want to see any doctor.
Wow.
It's really annoying.
Have you become one of those trouble patients?
Yes, I have.
It's her
to.
again.
Yeah.
It's the flautist.
But it's not me, it's the system.
Isn't it always?
It's the
we not
system
only
that's
get
messed up.
back after the commercial break, but you got a potty break.
I did. I ran
You're
out.
feeling good now, right?
I was in there longer than the guy using the stall.
Well, how
Just
relaxed
sitting there.
were you?
Not very.
Not very.
Oh.
I mean, I couldn't. There were parts of me that could not relax.
Back teeth floating.
I was.
Oh, man.
I was casting a yellow gaze.
I had a great time.
You did?
Oh yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, you seem comfortable.
I felt really bad for Charlie.
I think
couldn't
we
get
all
that
do.
full body relaxation.
I felt really
mode.
bad for Charlie.
I think all of our listeners feel bad for Charlie.
Nah. People probably felt I deserved it. I'd like to address the elephant in the room.
Okay,
And
yeah, I know. I got to lose weight.
No.
COVID. Put some pounds on.
No.
Jeez.
The average
No, I
person,
see you running. I see.
The average person put on 5 pounds.
Yeah.
And I like to feel that I'm above average.
Yeah, me too.
Stellar.
Janine I'm killing her name. I'm sorry. I am so sorry, Janine. Janine Jaramillo. Jaramillo?
Yaramilo.
That's her.
Or Yaramillo.
Yaramillo.
Because it's LL and it's a Hispanic last name.
Well,
Okay.
JJ, as we will now refer to her, lovingly, but not in an inappropriate, loving way.
I think
Friendly.
JJ's good.
Feels that we talk too much nonsense.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And so do 6 other people who liked her comment.
Sweet.
They are Lawrence Williams, Cody Smith, Amy Michelle, Patricia Lowe Inbody, Andrew Garcia, and Weird Veronica. That might not be her real name.
Probably not.
All agree that there was too much nonsense spoken on the last podcast.
Okay.
Do we have haters now?
No, I like to think that they're supporters from afar.
That's a good way to look at it.
Supporters of information, but not necessarily of nonsense.
Well, I mean, last week it was all about PCSing, opening up, and
Getting out of Dodge.
blah, 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 blah. And when he shared it on the Facebook page, folks were saying, oh, just go in 20 minutes. Skip all that nonsense.
Which made me laugh because I knew it started before the 20-minute mark.
Yeah, it's
I
like
edited it.
like
So I'm
17.
like, haha, it's 11.
Really?
Yeah. It's 11, you fools.
Yeah, but we were still speaking nonsense
Oh,
before
probably.
we started talking to,
Hey,
Probably.
that's quality content right
That
there.
is.
Yeah.
That is.
Golden.
Well, obviously they didn't come for the window dressing. They came for the steak.
Well, yeah.
Isn't that what everyone comes for?
No. My mom's out there listening. She told me the other day, I listen just to hear you talk.
Oh, that's so sweet.
It's so sad, Mom.
That's really sweet.
It's like you're in the room with her.
That's
you know?
true.
Yeah.
That's true. Oh, hey, that reminds me. I have a correction to make. I know the show's running.
Your dad listens too.
Yeah, he does.
It's Father's Day Sunday.
Is it this coming Sunday?
Yes.
I thought it was the Sunday after this Sunday.
No, it's this Sunday.
It's this Sunday?
Yeah. Say Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day, Dad.
Well,
you have
there
a
you
father, Brianna?
Yes, I do.
Do you want to wish him happy
Coincidentally. I actually we already celebrated Father's Day.
Well, there you go.
because
So
I
you're
got
not
see
willing
him.
to wish him a Father's Day on the podcast?
I mean, I wish him Happy Father's Day, Dad.
There
I don't
you
know if
go.
he listens though.
There you go. And I know your father has passed, but you are a dad.
I am.
So happy Father's Day, Dad.
Happy Father's Day.
I'm a grandpa too.
But speaking of fathers, not mine. That was a weird segue. It has nothing to do with that. But anyway, I made a statement last time. Brianna was ripping Kansas.
Yeah, she
You remember.
was.
And Lawrence, Kansas. And
No, she ripped Manhattan. A new one.
Manhattan.
Yeah.
And I made the statement that my cousin went to college, and I actually got some clapback from another cousin of mine who went to college there, who said, I know you weren't talking about me. So I officially say my cousin, Jeremy Folks, went to college in Manhattan, Kansas, along with my grandfather, which he reminded me of as well. So I have 3 relatives that went to college there.
At K-State.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
They are Wildcats.
You got a lot of history there.
Yep, we do. So
Ugh.
I said it, Jeremy. Are you happy? You happy? Very good. Okay, so I think that about wraps up the show. My conscience is clear. My bladder is empty.
That is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
And your pants aren't wet, so it's all good.
Nope.
It's a good way to end it.
Yep, it's always a dry day is a good day.
I don't
It's
know.
getting so hot, though.
It's 100,
It is.
100 degrees today.
It is, but that's
Yes.
Texas. It's Texas. If it's not hot in Texas, something's wrong.
Yeah, that's true.
Something is wrong. Interestingly enough, in Asia, they believe on a hot day, you should drink a hot drink. And because your inside will be hot, it like makes you cooler outside.
I don't know about that logic.
I don't know.
Does it work?
I don't think it does.
Yeah.
Don't tell my wife that. Don't tell the wife that.
Maybe it's just a placebo effect.
Yeah. Well, you get sweaty, I guess, maybe. And it's like, look, I'm cooling off. You can see the water.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that wraps it up for our relaxation show. We'll be back with our usual shenanigans next week.
Oh, I can't wait.
It's going to be fantastic. You're not going to know what hit you. Neither are we. Brianna, are you going to be here for the whole show next week?
I'll try my hardest.
Don't write checks you can't pay. All right. So, from all of us to all of you, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Happy Father's Day.
we'll see you again soon.
Bye, y'all.
Guitar starts thinning and cracks crumble to gravel lines to stone the travel, though I know